The Outlaws.
I didn't see that either.
My parents just emailed that they're coming to our wedding.
Oh, I get to meet your parents finally. Are you psyched? You're not psyched. Are you psyched at all? Is there any psych happening?
The Outlaws. Anyway, this was a movie. Again, this was on a streaming service. I don't remember. Was it Amazon or Netflix or?
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Was it Amazon or Flickflex?
First off, did you have another stroke? And two, I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
No, this
wasn't it.
I don't remember. It was, but it was a movie. It had Adam Devine. Adam Devine's character is kind of a loser. He loves his girlfriend though. He's going to propose to her, and she loves and he proposes to her. And they're going to get married and everything. But she's a little nervous about him meeting her parents.
Okay.
And her parents come to visit, and her parents are played by Pierce Brosnan and Julianne Moore, legends, Hollywood legends at this point. And long story short, spoiler, it turns out that they are like career criminals that do high price, high society type criminal acts, like stealing, tons of money or.
I do believe I remember seeing a commercial for that.
Mm-hmm. And like
trailer, you know what I meant.
And like owing a lot of money to like drug, like mansion dwelling drug lords and stuff like that. So it's a wacky adventure, and Adam Devine gets caught in the middle of it, and he has to help them out and all of that. And it's I got to admit, it's not my cup of tea. It obviously, in my opinion, was not good enough to do. Get real on, but
probably also why it came out just to stream.
Right, and it was just, I saw it over the 4th of July weekend when I was visiting my parents this summer, and it just, it was a cute little comedy that you could watch, and that's it.
Okay, girl, bye.
No,
okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a great film. I wouldn't even say it's one of the best films I would not say it's one of the best films of the year. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I did enjoy like watching it. It was a nice movie. It was one I said, okay, I saw that. It was fun. I don't want to see it again.
Something that filled the time pleasantly, but no need to fill anymore.
No need to fill the time. The plot. It's one of those plots that's kind of been done a lot. Well, of course, I guess you could say.
A lot of things have been done a lot.
I was going to say Cocaine Bear, but really Cocaine Bear hasn't been done. That was kind of unique, but that was a unique story. But Strays is something that's been done, although not in adult style.
Yeah.
So, there was some, I guess you could say those are ongoing trends that had little tweaks to them to make them interesting. This is one that you've seen a lot. I want you to meet my parents. But just be forewarned, my parents are a little different than the other parents. Like, for instance, there's a movie called Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. You find out that Robert De Niro is a former CIA agent, and so he's constantly keeping tabs on Ben Stiller's character. That's kind of basically what this is. It's like, you better watch out. I'm normal. But my parents are not, so you have to be careful, and so that's kind of a thing. But it was an interesting twist on the formula. I didn't hate it, but it's like I said, it's a movie that I don't want to see anymore. It was fine. I just didn't care.
So I asked you to watch it again so I could see it.
Okay. I could sit through it again.
Okay.
I'd probably spend a lot of time on my computer because it's been there, done that for me.
Yeah.
But it was decent enough. I might sit through it again. I could listen to it again. And I liked the cast. Adam Devine is really funny. He's a
Pitch Perfect.
He's the Pitch Perfect guy. He's in Workaholics. He's been in a ton of different things. And he's always really funny in any roles he is.
You enjoy him.
He's always plays like the nerdy guy who's just
like stupid but
stupidly smart. He's like a dumb smart guy or a smart dumb guy. I don't know, whichever one you want to be. But he's talented and he's really funny. He's funny and quirky, but not in an annoying way. It's very just.
You know he's also a stand-up comedian?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, he does stand-up shows, and if he ever came this way, I would totally go.
Well, there you go. There you have it, folks. We just rhymed.
Whoa.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But no, overall, I thought the movie was pretty cute. I thought it was fun, a fun watch.
Recommendation?
I mean, I recommend it if you are just looking for something funny to watch on streaming services. If you just literally have a free night and you just want to I just want to watch a movie, kick back and relax. This would be a kick back and relax film. It wasn't anything special. It's like I said, nothing that I love, but it was a decent enough film for the evening. So if you wanted to go see The Outlaws.
You can't go see it. It didn't come out in theaters.
If you want to watch The Outlaws, then you could. So,
There.
The Outlaws.
Before we move on to our last and final movie.
Which is the same thing, last and final.
Yeah.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
One movie that I wanted to see this year, but we never got to. We never like sat down and like focused on enough. Asteroid City.
Yeah, that's a regret.
I mean, it's still on a streaming device. We still can watch it. I do still want to watch it, but we never made it to that.
Every year, I feel like there's at least one film that we regret not seeing. Last year for me, it was A Christmas Story Christmas, and I still didn't watch it this Christmas.
Was Minions the prior year or this year?
That was last year.
So Minions would have been mine.
Yeah.
That we never got to see. Which again, on streaming, I can watch it.
Don't you have it on Blu-ray or DVD?
No.
No, I thought we got it on DVD. Well, regardless.
Rise of Gru. I actually tried to stream it the other day, but I was so exhausted I fell asleep like 10 minutes in.
So yeah, so the Rise of Gru for you, and then for me it was A Christmas Story Christmas last year, and then this year it's Asteroid City. I really wanted to see Asteroid City, but it came out at a time when there were a lot of other big movies coming out.
Didn't it come out kind of close to Oppenheimer and Barbie?
No, it came out close around Indiana Jones.
Oh, I was like, I knew there was another big one that we didn't go see it for some reason.
Super close around Indiana Jones. I can't remember if it was the same week or the week before. But we were busy and we could only do. It was like we can only do one. If we're gonna do one, let's go with Indiana Jones. So that's what we did, and
which is kind of funny that your parents agreed to that because they probably would have preferred Asteroid City.
No, my dad would have totally preferred Indiana Jones.
Okay, your mom would have preferred Asteroid City.
My dad loves, and that's where I get my love of Indy. He's the one that turned me on to Indiana Jones.
Well, your mom would have preferred Asteroid City.
Sure, she would have.
But she hates Indiana Jones.
She hates Indiana Jones.
So I'm surprised she agreed to that.
Which addendum to our past review of The Dial of Destiny. That movie's growing on me as well, even more. I liked it in the summer, then we watched it again right before Christmas, and I liked it even more. So, Dial of Destiny really growing on me.
It's like, for me, I guess growing on people like some Crystal Skull grows for some people, but I still can't get behind Dial of Destiny. It's not Indiana Jones for me.
Well, see, that's how I and most of us felt about Crystal Skull.
Yeah. And I get it, and I understand that I am alone in liking the Crystal Skull.
Stop it!
It's fine. I will stand alone on that. I will die alone on
that's
that.
a hill that you will die completely alone.
I will die alone on, and I'm okay, and I
penniless.
And I understand that, and I have accepted it.
Familyless.
It's fine.
Teebs the
but
catsless.
I can't, because I don't feel like Indiana Jones is
you
like the
rot.
star of that.
You will
I feel like
on that hill.
his goddaughter.
No,
is.
you're right, and you know what? That's somewhat refreshing because it definitely felt like an appropriate older Indy. And that last one, it felt like they were really playing up. Oh, he's older now. there's the guy, and he's gonna be the leader more on that. But he wasn't. Indy was still part-time.
Part-time.
In the trailer, and it was a takeout too, that it was him saying part-time.
Part-time.
It sounded really good. And then the one they used, and then they did it again, the one they used was part-time.
Part-time.
I'll never understand that, but that's I digress. Dial of Destiny's great.
Right, yeah.
I think he was more indie in that than he was in Crystal Skull, but that's just me. Now let's get to the mainstay here. This is the grand finale. This is
the one that I will say one more time. I feel like should have got its own show. I know we ran out of time. That's why I didn't. I get it, but
we didn't see this movie until last weekend. And that was already too far past its time.
No.
So it wasn't new enough for us to review it.
You're not new enough.
I'm not. I'm very old. But this movie, if there was ever a grand finale of any of these episodes that we could do,
Oh my god.
it's this one.
Oh my god.
Say it with me. It's Wonka!
You see, I'm something of a magician, inventor, and chocolate maker. So quiet up and listen down. Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
OMG.
I said it in April of last year about the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I'll say it again about this one. This movie had no business being as
This
good as
damn
it
good.
was. It had no business being this good. It had no business. Timothy Chalamet, like, I was nervous for him because Johnny Depp screwed up Willy Wonka so bad, and I hate him for it.
You know what? I got transportation.
I don't think he screwed him up.
Stop
that
it.
bad.
I got transportation.
Stop. You like see this one. This is where we just like Crystal Skull, Dial of Destiny. Like, you think Crystal Skull is better than Dial of Destiny? Hell no. Dial of Destiny is so much better than Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull is a guilty pleasure. I don't hate Crystal Skull. It's just I know what the problems are, and it's not great. You're right. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is ass. It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is ass. It's pure ass. That movie is terrible. Even Gene Wilder talked about how much he hated that film and how much he hated Johnny Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka.
I think it's an insult to do that with Johnny Depp, who I think is a good actor, and I like him, but I don't care for that director, and he's a talented man, but I don't care for him for doing stuff like he did.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is pure ass, so we like to pretend like that doesn't exist. But Timothy Chalamet came out of nowhere and handled the role of Willy Wonka so well.
Like, he nailed it.
You know, that's the thing, is it just seemed like a waste of time. It seemed like, oh God, here we go again. We're doing another prequel / soft reboot, or, you know, of a franchise that doesn't need it. We've already had what needed to be done. And so that's kind of what I was going into this. Like I'm ready to be disappointed. From the first scene, the movie immediately starts into musical. And that was another thing. I was like, I know that the first one was musical, so I knew that this one was going to be too.
The second one was too.
Well, yeah,
not
but
as much. But
ass, pure ass.
for some reason, my brain did not go in thinking it was going to be a musical, and I don't know why.
Exactly.
Both were.
Every adaptation of Willy Wonka has been a musical, Miss Pingrino. They're
my
all.
brain did not think that. So literally, it goes, and I like look at Hot Toddy, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's a musical.
And the first line.
Which I love musicals. It's fine.
And the first thing that comes out of Timothy Chalamet's mouth is music. And from the very first song, I was in.
Yeah.
I liked that song he sang in the beginning. I liked everything. And it told a really interesting story about the background of Willy Wonka.
I will say, given the trailers and a little bit of what I saw, for some reason I also thought it would be creepier. Going into it, in my brain, I almost thought it was going to be a mix between the two Willy Wonkas. It was going to be the kooky crazy of Gene, but like pull in the creep of Johnny Depp. Because of the way the trailers like portrayed it. So I thought it was going to be sort of like a creepy movie.
Creepy movie.
But it wasn't. It literally was like a childhood dream come to life. Like his childhood dream come to life. And they made that story feel like that the whole time.
The original Willy Wonka is sort of dark. There's dark moments in that original film. And so I thought, and there are a couple dark moments in this one, not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
And see, Willy Wonka, you know, is also slightly like, in the first one, he's slightly creepy. In the original one, he's slightly mysterious and like uncomfortable, makes you uncomfortable. Gene Wilder was so great in that role that he could make you feel slightly uncomfortable with his character. I mean, it was just that compelling. This was like the soft side. You learned all about Willy and his coming of age and how when he had feelings too. He was someone who dealt with a lot in his youth, and he was just trying to find his way in life. And so it was interesting to see that and to see him interact and And even in, in the original Willy Wonka, he's a good guy. He gives an entire chocolate factory to Charlie. My God.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's also a good guy because he does great deeds for all of his friends, and it just
he sets them free.
Right, and it's just a great story, and they found the right people to be in these roles.
They found the greatest people.
Keegan-Michael Key as the police chief.
Oh my God!
Stop it! He's just stop it. He's too good. He was so great in that role.
And the monk.
And the monk, played by Mr. Bean himself, Rowan Atkinson. He needed more screen time. That, if I had any complaints, I say we needed more Rowan Atkinson. We didn't get enough. I don't feel like he was in just a few minutes of the film, but just enough to get a credit in the film.
I needed a little bit more Oompa Loompa.
Oh, and that's another thing we got to talk about. Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa.
I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
I know a lot of people were outraged about Hugh Grant playing the Oompa Loompa. When I first found out that was the case, I wasn't as outraged about that as I was about when I first heard that Chris Pratt was going to play Mario. I was pissed about that. I was like, really? Like,
But he did a good job.
You're gonna try, and then he ended up doing a really good job.
Yeah.
And then with Hugh Grant, I'm like, okay, it's weird. That's a weird choice, but let me hear it out. Let me hear them out. And sure enough, he did a great job playing the Oompa Loompa.
He really did.
And so, it just, like, everything clicked. There was a lot of chemistry, and there was a lot of, I don't know what.
What the f does that even mean?
Literally, the point of Wonka.
Everything worked was the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, like it literally is. The whole movie is a dream state, and boy, they like. And I'm not talking just like the happy parts of the dream state. There were like nightmare parts of the dream state, but then also into the happy. Like, it's so whimsical, so like magical but real.
Yeah.
Like, they literally brought magic to real. And they did it so well. And Timothée Chalamet nailed the Wonka character.
I was
so good.
Why are you the way that you are?
We were talking about it after the fact that he really unleashed his inner Gene Wilder, because you could tell he studied how his mannerisms, like scenes where he would walk with the cane, and the way he would kind of like sideways walk with the cane, like that's how Gene Wilder would do it. And so you could tell he really paid homage and paid attention to that, not like imitating it, but he was like literally playing a Gene Wilder in the film, playing the younger version of Willy Wonka, and knowing how to do it. Again, I go back to that dog heap dumpster fire that is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, where Johnny Depp just puts on this really creepy sounding like clown voice.
I always thought a verruca was a type of wart you got on the bottom of your foot.
And then doesn't do any kind of like specific thing. He just creates his own creepy, icky Willy Wonka. Icky!
See, I guess why I like that
Stop
one.
defending it!
I guess why I like it, though, is I literally take it as a completely different movie than the original.
Yeah, why?
This one.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why?
No! God, please, no! No!
It shouldn't have ever existed. Listen, I like Johnny Depp and I love Tim Burton, but that movie was a swing and a miss.
Not for everybody. Some people love it.
I did enjoy Deep Roy as the Oompa Loompa in that movie, though. I will get or the Oompa Loompas. He played all of them, but that was just that was a CGI trick.
I also like the little kid who played Charlie.
There's not multiple Deep Roys out there.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
That was the only highlight of that movie, but the highlight of this film is everything.
So good.
And the music. I think I like the music in this. This controversial. I'm going to make some controversial statements here.
Ready for it? Let's go.
I like the music in this movie more than I did the original Willy Wonka. So much more. I want the soundtrack to this movie.
I do too.
The songs in this movie were so good. They were so catchy, and they were so,
because they were still that rhymey,
right?
But they were more. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. They were still that like rhymey crap, but they were more musical.
Rhymey crap?
Yeah.
Okay. Dan, I don't know
But
if I
they
would have
were
gone
more-
down that road,
they
but
were
okay.
more musical to it.
Okay, yeah, there was more music to them, you mean?
Like
Or it was more whimsical.
more like, okay, so in the original, most of the songs are the Oompa Loompa songs. They all sound the same, just different words.
Well, when
So,
he,
like, the
well, no,
music
when
itself-
he did his Oompa Loompa songs, it was all the same too, just different words.
Right,
It was
I understand that.
Oompa Loompa Baba Dee Boop.
But like that was most of the songs in the original. There were a few things here or there, but nothing that like went crazy. The best one for me for the original was the Pure Imagination one.
And that I want to get to that, but yeah, you're right. Mhm.
This one, like, you got the Oompa Loompa song once, which was
You
enough.
got it once or twice.
Pretty sure we got it once.
He did it twice on the boat when he.
Oh, we did it on the boat too. Okay, twice.
Yeah.
But twice was enough. Mm-hmm. And it was a very shortened version. It
Right.
wasn't like
And that
stretched
yeah.
out. They didn't stretch out the Oompa Loompa song.
And that's.
And then there were so many other songs.
It was its own entity, and then I really love. Yeah, it was like its own thing, and you forgot that it was a prequel to another movie.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Hugh Grant shows up, and you hear the flute.
Oh, I don't think I want to hear that.
And then the Oompa Loompa song starts. I was oh, see, and it brings you back to the reality. Oh, this is a prequel to Willy Wonka. And then at the very end of the movie, spoiler, when. Well, we'd have to explain the entire story here, but when Willie introduces Noodle back to her mother, he sings "Pure Imagination." So it was a callback, or if you will, a look to
Flash forward.
a look to the future of Willie's life as the chocolate maker that everybody knows. And so it was like, I loved that. Right at the very end, they brought that in, and it's a great story. It's about him finding his way in the world and leading up to when he became the chocolate master that we knew him. And, and he meets a lot of fun people in the process. Any moment that stands out directly for you?
There is one glitch for me from prequel to Gene. And that is, in prequel, there are 3 chocolate masters, and they are all taken out at the end.
Yes.
But then we get into Gene's version, and Slugworth is still there.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Grant you,
I don't remember that.
he's only kind of sort of there because ultimately he works for Willy Wonka.
Well, he learned his lesson.
So that kind of comes as like a miss for me. Like, how did he come back? How did he get brought back into the story?
Because for the storyline is it's Slugworth and then 2 other competing chocolate makers.
Yeah.
As it turns out, they're in cahoots. They're in this literal
chocolate mafia.
Chocolate mafia. And I want to get to that.
Unless, in the Gene version, the guy who plays Slugworth is like just faking to be Slugworth. He's just an actor.
I don't think that's it.
But
anyway,
that ain't right.
But yeah, they're all competing, but they team up together to try to bring down Willy Wonka because they don't want Willy on their turf, and
because they've been watering down chocolate and still selling it because nobody knows any different. So they're getting the same price on what should be pure chocolate, but saving a lot more money because they don't have to actually make it.
Exactly.
And Willie's coming out here making balls amazing chocolate, and they're like, no, yeah.
Huh?
No.
No.
But yeah, and then so Willie tries to get on there, encroach on their turf, and Keegan-Michael Key is the chief of police who is in cahoots with them and tries to bring them down. He's a chocoholic and he keeps eating chocolate and gets enormous through the film. It's very great. Entertaining, and it was just super great. And I just love that storyline, and I love what they did with it there. And so yeah, I mean the story was great, the music was great,
They nailed
the cinematography,
all the characters, all those
was
actors
great.
and actresses. They nailed them.
So many great characters in the movie. It was a beautiful story all around. I just really loved what they did.
I also love how there was a mix between American and British actors,
Which kind of got confusing.
It did get confusing, but for some reason I'm okay with it.
Willie could be explained because he's not necessarily from England. He just came from anywhereville.
Yeah.
But then the chief of police is almost like I got a New York accent.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming his character moves to England at some point. I don't know. But so that was weird. But there is one complaint I have about the movie, other than more Rowan Atkinson, is that the fact that there's like a chocolate mafia, like chocolate in this universe, chocolate is like so damn important that you if you try to sell it on somebody else's turf, you're risking your life to do it. I thought that was kind of a broad way of trying to get a prequel story in it. How does Willie become? I don't know. He's got to go up against
the chocolate mafia.
The chocolate mafia, because everybody in this world lives off of chocolate, I guess. But you know what? In the Willy Wonka story, in the first movie, and in the book itself, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I mean, everybody is obsessed with Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
No, they're obsessed with Willy Wonka
Oh,
because he's so mysterious. They don't know anything about him, and they're obsessed with the chocolate bar. So when he gives out the golden tickets, everybody's like, "Oh, he's giving out the golden ticket."
Stop it!
But and so that's kind of how they acted in the first film. Like, "Oh, you can't do chocolate here. We do chocolate here." So I thought that was kind of silly, but I mean, I'm
okay with it.
I get that's why they went with that particular story, because that's what it's about. So I get it. Overall, I get it. I see why they did it, and that's why. Yeah, you're right. It's okay. It was an okay plot for a movie like this. So, would you recommend
Absolutely.
Wonka?
Absolutely. We will own it. We will watch it all the time.
And I too
think you should
recommend Wonka. I think it's a great film. This one is still in theaters.
It is.
So at this point in time, I guess I don't know where we are.
Maybe not at this
I don't
point.
know.
It may have come out.
I don't know
by now, but
wherever you can see Wonka, go see it, because it's a great movie. Wonka. All right, Miss Fingrino, there you have it. That's our
all done.
That is the 4 movies that we saw this year that we did not do a review on, and that's kind of pathetic, because like I said, there was a time when we saw a lot of movies and we had a bigger list to go down. But yeah, but it's a testament though, because we do so many episodes of Get Real throughout the year.
Yeah.
Was that necessary? No.
No.
Did I need to do it? Yes.